Hey everybody, we will continue with headings in our tutorial, and I think that headings and paragraphs will be the content of this next video. We have already seen them, but we will try to explain them better in this video. Well, we'll start from scratch. Here we have HTML headings. The headings are titles or subtitles that you want to display on a web page. You do it in all documents. You put a title, subtitle, or some different sizes to specify parts in a website, in a document, or whatever. So we have here this all headings, and depending on the number of the heading, H1, H2, 3, or 6, the bigger the number, the smaller will be the heading. So heading 6 is much smaller than heading 1. So this is a very easy easy element to understand. So if we put here 3, these two will be like this one. So we run it, put it bigger. Heading 3 and heading 6 at this moment are the same size. I think this is not complicated. So are defined from H1 to H6. That's the information that we have here. H1 is the most important heading, and the least important heading will be H6. Headings are important. Why it is that? Because search engines use the headings to index the structure and content of your web pages. So it's good to have a good structure in your website, because some search engines use the headings and not the paragraphs information to make a better search. So it's good to use H1 to 6 elements and use them correctly. Okay. What else? Well, here you have this will be the structure. H1 headings should be the use for the main headings, followed by H2 headings, and the less important H3, and so on. But it's very good to use well the main headings, H1. Bigger headings. Each HTML heading has a default size. You can't change the size with the style attribute using the CSS font size property. Well, we will see that later, but you remember that we talked about a style attribute, which changes the size, the color, or whatever of some elements. So we can use a style to change the size of an element, 60 pixels or 30 pixels or 100 pixels. You see them? We can continue. What else? Here we have some exercises, very easy headings. This video could be finished here, but we will go with paragraphs, okay? Because they are similar. We have HTML paragraphs, the other one were H1 to H6, and the paragraphs are specified by the tag P. P, this is a paragraph. This is another paragraph. Very easy. When you finish a paragraph, you go to the next row. HTML display. You can be not sure how HTML will be displayed. Large or small screens. Yes, this we'll talk about this later, but it depends of the element that you use. For example, a smartphone or a web browser in a computer, it's not the same because of the sizes. So we have to think about the paragraphs very well, because sometimes we will have problems to display the way we want. We have here three examples. you see, first paragraph. This paragraph contains a lot of lines in the source code, but the browser ignores it because we don't put here any I can't remember how is the word, but any character, special character. Do you know the return? When you use the return to go to the next row, you don't have this special character, which is specified like this. If we put this element br, we make a little jump to the next line. Do you see it? Here we can add it again, and it will go next to line. We will go to the next row, the next line, or whatever. Okay, so if you put lots of spaces, the browser also ignores them. And the number of the lines depends on the browser. That's what happens. So we have to think carefully about how do we want to display those paragraphs. HTML horizontal rules. The HR tag defines a thematic break in an HTML page, and it's most often displayed as a horizontal rule. The HR element is used to separate contents or define a change in an HTML page. So we have H1, P, HR. We will see with the example. This HR makes a little line, creates a little line to make a little difference in different parts of the website. So if we delete this element, which is just a simple element, simple character, it was like BR to go to the next line. If we delete it, you see that these paragraphs and headings are one next to the other. So if we want to make a little distance and put a single line to make a difference, we can use this element. Okay, HR. HTML line breaks. Line breaks is what we talked about before. We can use BR without this backslash, but I prefer to use the backslash. Okay, this is just something personal. Oh, we'll see an example. It was an exercise. Here you have, in HTML, spaces and new lines are ignored. So my boundary lies on the ocean. You see that here we want to create this kind of display. We want 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, and to end every line like this. So what do we have to do? First of all, we have to put break lines or something like that. You will think about it. Maybe you'll figure it out. But here you have the solution. The solution will be the pre-element. Pre-element, the HTML pre-element defines a performatic text. This text inside a pre-element is displayed in a fixed width font, usually Courier, and it preserves both space and line breaks. So instead of using P, if we use PRE, you see the difference here. The font is Courier instead of Arial, but if we put it like a simple paragraph, this all changes. But if we put PRE, we can see it as a poem. This is a poem's structure. So we have some more exercises here and information about all the things that we learned previously. So we finish with this, and headings and paragraphs, you will use them in your exercises a lot, but I think that we have learned the most of those elements. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. We will continue with another part. Bye.